Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. EsotericCloudSurfer here, ready to start a tarot reading for today's energies. Thank you very much for being here, your support is greatly appreciated. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity and responsibility as well. Remember that you can ask a tarot reading for yourself using the image in the screen right now and by using the links and the email in the description down below. Check the description down below, full of information about me and my beautiful partner, businesses and content and ways to reach us. And I hope you're having a beautiful day and you are loving yourself and being yourself. By the way, shout out to my soul group and shout out to everybody out there in the world, changing the world by being themselves and showing to others that the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. So today is JupiterDae in Aries retrograde. We are expanding on past circumstances, thoughts, feelings or travels that made us feel unique or that forced us into creating new feelings, new visions, act, express in a new way, or we had to either create a new desire or express and get that desire in a different way. Okay, so reflecting on past moments that where we did that, or you might feel a bit insecure about your present expansion and expression of your individuality because in certain past moments you weren't able to express and convey the messages, wisdom and knowledge that you got from your own experiences. Don't let that perturb right now. Learn from that situation so you don't repeat the same mistakes again. And the sun is in Virgo and the moon is in Leo. We are paying attention to detail, routine and pattern, and we want to feel light, happy, enjoyable, and that we are receiving attention because of that or the things that we are expressing and paying attention in general, okay? And it's almost new moon in Virgo as well. So the moon is now almost completely full, empty. So it's normal that you feel a bit like lonely or hard to communicate, hard to connect, or it's kind of strange. You might be in your comfortable space, but you don't feel comfortable, or you are worrying about something that you normally don't worry about. It's normal, just don't take that to an extreme. Make sure you are using this emptiness time to clear your space and to reset and reorganize your priorities as well. And let's get with the first card of the day. Let's get into it. Sun in Virgo, Moon in Leo, Jupiter in Aries. That's the trinity of the day. Let's go. That's a trine between the sun, between the moon and Jupiter. So we have a gift to feel more comfortable when we travel to places that we can expand, either forcefully or harmoniously. We have here a little storyline about the sun and the Jupiter trine. We don't want that. We don't want to talk about that. More cards flipping, but it's not big scatteredness, and it's like chunks of cards. It's not like a card over here, another over there. It's not like one chunk that falls in one place. So it's like you are a bit scattered, but still you got your shit together. You just might look or express yourself scattered, or others might think you scattered, or others might talk some shit that is distracting you, and then you scattered, but then you get back on track real fast. Okay? And then we have a fatal attraction between the sun and the moon, feeling a bit more hyped, light, and motivated about routines, patterns, and organization. And then we have a misunderstanding between the sun and Jupiter. Misunderstanding what actions and expressions should we do in order to expand, and misunderstanding how individuality, creativity, and spirituality can make our life move forward faster than what we're calculating. And we got two cards coming out for the first card of the day. Okay, both water cups. First, 6 of cups. Oh, hold on. Ah, there we go. It's better. Yeah, to do. Okay. There we go, there we go. Six of Cups, okay? So you are paying attention to your own feelings and emotions, or you should be paying attention to your feelings and emotions, or you already doing this too much, paying attention to your feelings and emotions, okay? And or you are trying to take power and control over your emotions and feelings, or you are trying to pay attention or take power and control over your partners or somebody else in your surroundings, emotions and feelings, dreams, illusions, and spiritual connections. And why I say that? Because it's backed and supported by the reversed Ace of Cups. So you have a very, very powerful way to connect or think or communicate about your emotions. You have a really powerful way to impact your surroundings with your moods and vibes, but you are using it for the wrong way. Okay? You are using your strong impact in order to feel others around you, in order to take power and control over others' feelings and emotions around you. Okay? Be very careful. No, you don't want to use this gift for that bullshit. Because everybody now is experiencing a unique feeling, a unique emotion, a unique way to show and conduct those emotions. Because it's reversed. You don't see that as a gift, you don't see yourself as powerful, you don't see yourself as having a unique emotion, or you are using that to act kind of superior to the ones around you and take power and control over their own feelings and emotions. Be careful with that. Okay, let's go for the second card of the day. Let's go. It is Four of Pentacles. Okay. Thinking, analyzing, structuring, applying limits, applying boundaries, and being realistic about your reality, your physical surroundings, your circumstances, your responsibilities, and the things that you think you need to take care of. We are thinking, making sense, and applying structure to things around us that already deal with that. So that can become very, very dry. But keep in mind that the moon and Jupiter are in fire signs. So actually we need this today because the sun is in Virgo. So if you want to express something that makes sense, but you are talking about some spirituality, you really need to analyze how your surroundings make sense out of stuff so you can present your spirituality in a realistic and stable way. Okay? But with the sun in Virgo, we can get lost into this and thinking that this is the key, this is the answer for everything. It's not. That's just a way to convey and share our visions, feelings, imagination, creativity, and spiritual beliefs. Because we are acting in a logical, dry, making sense way, but we need to feel spiritually connected, spiritually excited, entertained, and satisfied. And that's how we are doing that. That's how we do it. Okay? Be careful to not go into any war because you feel limited or you think you are limited. And then that happens a lot with the masks and stuff. When I don't wear a mask or other people don't wear a mask, the people that wear masks be like, hey, you need to wear a mask, you need to do this, you need to do that, because they created that limit or they accepted that limit, and because you are out of it, they feel weird, they feel stupid, they feel like, hey, if that person is out of it, why I am not outside of it? And then they can go to war, aka Orion, okay, they can go to war to defend, to protect those limits, or they can feel super frustrated, they don't have the power and the energy to break those limits, and they might be frustrated at you because you are an example on how to break those limits and boundaries, how to have a wider perspective about yourself and the world. You are an example, right? And they see that, but they don't have the power or energy to do it, so they get mad and they reflect at you, okay? So be careful, and if you encounter somebody coming at you in that warlike state, you already know why. and you already know how to defend yourself. You make sense out of your physical surroundings and be like, hey, this person is reflecting on me. I don't need to participate in that war. I can just seclude myself, be a bit more private, and say, hey, I just don't agree with you, and then move on. Okay, real simple, real clean. It's not air. We don't need to explain it. It's not fire. We don't need to impact it, and it's not water. We don't need to care about it. Okay, because many times people think as earth as the most complicated element, but it's actually the simplest element. Okay, but we can complicate everything, right? Let's go for the third card of the day. Let's go. Yeah, I already feel it's going to involve some type of analysis and you being aware of spiritual and emotional processes, and you can't be aware of it all, but if you use your mind right, you can pinpoint the pieces that will lead you into complete awareness without really seeing it. Oh, hold on, because the cards, it's two cards, but they came out like this. So it's like, okay, it's the two of, and then whoa, somebody appears in the back line. Hey, you were just about to forget about me, okay? So we have reverse two of swords, talking too much, or too lightly, or about shit that doesn't matter, about shit that doesn't serve your purpose, and then you attract flies to your head, or thinking and analyzing your relationships in a way that is not real, or you are adding too much emotions, you are adding too much feelings, too much imaginations, aka Moon and Jupiter, Moon in Leo, Jupiter in Aries, okay? And this is perturbing you, or you have to correct this, and you have to be a bit more logical, okay? And that's to correct this, because this is why you might not be doing this in such a clear, direct, and light way, because your conversations, our relationships, and how we relate in general is being backed and supported by mutable fire, okay? So we want to share some spiritual experiences. We want to share how new and innovative we feel, or we just had an imagination, we just had an epiphany, we just learned something real cool from the internet about spirituality or creativity, and we want to share that to the world. We want to show, hey, the world, you can do that as well. You can be as well spiritually inspired. But that's why our conversations don't really make sense right now, okay? Because we are trying to explain some spiritual shit in a clear and pinpointed way. But that is not really possible with the languages that we use in this realm, okay? So you always have to communicate those real spiritual message through vibes or metaphors, allegories. You can't really explain to the detail. That's what we're trying to do, going from this to this, right? This is all thinking, communicating, analyzing, making sense, all right? But you already started with a lot of emotions, and then we want to share, associate, make others understand our visions, feelings, creativity, process or aspects, and spiritual beliefs. And we're trying to communicate that, we're trying to relate that in a way that is clear, it makes sense, and others can understand it as if it were their own perspective. We can't do that. So it's not like the conversation itself will be flung, because people gonna be, and you yourself gonna be more open to receive it, but because you're already making sense, and we are already adding structure, power and control to our own feelings and emotions, naturally this gonna come out. The conversations will play out like this. So the conversations will make sense for us, that it's about reality or we're trying to make sense, but in the end of the day, you're not going to feel that you really shared your message, or it might happen. You might not feel really like my point got across. You might even get excited, you guys might even get in a very hot conversation, but you're going to realize that, bro, I couldn't really convey all of my spiritual perspectives. I couldn't really explain the plan for my creativity or whatever, because that's something that you really gotta do and show them already done, or the little process of that. When it comes to talking and explaining and showing just how you think you can do it, that's kind of hard to do. That's why earth element, that's why we need the earth element, okay? And that's also a meaning of the full moon, which is you see what your spiritual associations, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions and ideas, you see what that results in this realm. Because if you go to a different realm with the same feeling and idea, it creates different shapes and forms. So the full moon and the earth energy allow you to realize, okay, these rituals and spells, these communications, these associations, these dreams, this spiritual system, or the way that I communicate about it is or lead my spirit into that way, or leads me into this type of circumstances, or it manifests or attract that specific type of things. But with this, with the Two of Swords, you can't really show to even to yourself the spiritual principles that you want to share and associate with the world. That's why it's reversed, because it's gonna be weird. You're gonna maybe even have facility in communicating that, but it's not going to really be a connection, all right? Or just what I said, but coming from another perspective, is you really want to connect your dreams, your illusions, your expansions. You really want to feel a part of something, or you want others to make a part of your visions and things, but they're not listening to you. Because it might not be you not able to communicate. People just might see where you're coming from in a flipped out perspective, and then they don't even want to start hearing your experiences, your testimonies, your allegories, and your metaphors. Because those people that they don't want to listen to you, they got stuck in this card, they got stuck in making sense and thinking and calculating about reality and safety and security circumstances, and they really don't got to this, because this is flunky, this is like a bit of a fight, but it's very important because it's about sharing and communicating your spiritual perspectives, which is what we all here to do. So people that got stuck in this, they don't even want to listen to you, it's actually okay. It's actually good for you, because you realize, okay, with that person, I don't need to try to make sense. I don't need to try and think about it. I don't even need to count that person in. But maybe you guys don't do that, because you guys maybe don't have a lot of air energy as I do. I really calculate and map out the people, places and things where I can reach out to and be my true self, and then I have different levels of being my true self. Of course, I'm being my true self all the time, but I don't show that to all people, you know? Because I know that some people don't even want to start the communication about some spiritual shit. They just want to talk about how their beef was less expensive, how their car went into the body shop and it was supposed to come back 1 week ago and it's not back yet. And I'm here telling them, bro, Saturn is in retrograde. That's why I learned that things can get slower right now in reality and in our world. And they'd be like, but bro, I just want my car back, or something like that, you know? Or it just doesn't make sense. The guy said it was 1 week. The guy must be trying to tricking me, and they'll have like a full time dedicated to think about how or what the guy of the body shop is trying to fuck them up. Okay, that's an example, but you know, people that get stuck in here, you don't even need to consider them important to you, because they don't go to this themselves. So when they got into this circumstance with you, communicating, they will never see this from you because they don't have it, or they are not in that space, which is creating a new external way to share, associate, and show your creativity, individuality, and spiritual beliefs. Okay? So let's see how we can go through today in the best way, lightest way, wisest and widest way possible. Ooh, interesting. Earth, hold on. Earth and water dragon, okay? So you should be more realistic, more practical, and more strong when it comes to upholding limits and boundaries, when it comes to your feelings, emotions, dreams, illusions, place of comfort and security. Or you should be more open, more caring, and more receiving when it comes to others' limits, boundaries, worries, and ways to make sense and communicate. But in general, we all should be a bit more private today. We all should be a bit more internal. We should make sense out of our feelings and emotions. We should find clear answers in if you flunked out. Why am I flunked out? How can I correct this? And how I can even use this to expand, aka JupiterDae. But you can't really use Jupiter in Aries right now, especially in retrograde, if you don't make sense out of your emotions and feelings, and if you don't care about your stability and well-being. Because, like, for example, applying oil to your skin is way more than the components of the oil doing good to your skin. Is you caring about the vessel that allows you to experience, that really makes the skin good. And applying oil into your skin, into your face, into my beard, can actually help other organs, because as a ritual and spell, I'm showing care, worrying, and that I wish that this vessel is bountiful and juicy so I can experience in the best way possible. That's an example, okay? So, Earth and Water Dragon creates the foundation for new growth. Real shit. Real shit, because, yeah, you need some earth and some water to grow some good plants. And look at the moon in the background, okay? It's almost new moon there? I always confuse. So the crescent, yeah, it's almost new moon, because that's a descendant phase. Yeah, it's almost new moon, and we're almost on a new moon, and it will be in Virgo. So you really need to make sense and be practical and find ways to organize and stabilize your feelings and emotions. Real shit. And that will be the foundation for a new growth, okay? But it's very important, the foundation. You need a structure, you need a stage, you need a house for your business, aka your emotions and feelings. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. Yeah, but that's really important. You gotta water the seeds, but then you gotta collect the fruits as well. So it's always that either you make more sense out of your emotions and feelings, or you care more about your structure and how you feel safe in the world. Okay, guys, beautiful energies. It might be a bit confusing because we have water here, fire and air over here, earth here. So and there was, as I said, some scatteredness at start, but it wasn't like this, you know? It wasn't scattered like that. It was scattered like this. A block of cards fell over there and the deck is in my hand. So that scatteredness is not that severe, and it can actually help us lighten up and change our perspectives and be aware of more things, okay? Because as the Orion and Four of Pentacles, the second card, it is the connection between the start and the end, between the Fool and the Wise Man, or woman, okay? So you can get stuck in it, because wherever you turn, your starting point, not your starting point, your balancing point, where you judge this and where you judge that, is reality, limits, boundaries, making sense, being, and look stable. But in reality, you just need to add that to those things. You don't need to limit those things. You need to add some limitation, some structure. Be aware that the people in your surroundings behave in a certain way, and then adapt your feelings and the communication of your spiritual system to that way. Don't be like, oh, I can't do it. I can't talk here. Or I have to talk in the same way that they do. Or I have to talk about what they talk about. No, you can come in your own way, but you know it's gonna be weird. Or you can come from your own unique emotional space, and you know they might try to take power and control over your unique feelings and emotions by bonding you to reality. But then you know, okay, let this all happen. I'm just being more private about how I make sense, how sturdy I am, and about my feelings and emotions. And in the end of the day, I'll have a foundation for a new growth. I will nurture my ideas and harvest the abundance, because I don't give a fuck about those fools. Alright? But this allows you to get out of those weird situations, if that's the case, with your heart clear and open, to achieve that privacy in your heart space. Because many times you can carry others' flunked outness with you just because you remember that, or you can stop thinking about it, you know? And then your heart can replicate that. But if you know all of these processes, you know what's going on, and you achieve this space of emotional safety, your manifestations are protected. Your mind and heart are clear, still believing in your possibilities and yourself. All right? So, thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, love yourselves, and as Esoteric Cloud Surfer is surfing out. See you soon.